Good morning. Robbie and I are here again to bring another life group lesson for you guys. And today we're going to be in Luke chapter 8, verses 26 through 39 if you want to follow along while Robbie reads. Robbie, why don't you just start with verse 26 and read through verse 33.
How did you pronounce it again?
Well, it's Gerasenes or Gerasenes.
Garrison.
Whichever way you want to do it.
Okay. 26 through what?
33.
Then they sailed to the region of the Gerasenes, which is opposite of Galilee. When he got out on land, a demon-possessed man from the town met him. For a long time he had worn no clothes and did not stay in the house, but in the tombs. When he saw Jesus cry out, fell down before him in a loud voice, "What do you have to do with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? I beg you, don't torment me." For he had commanded the unclean spirit to come out of the man. Many times he had seized him, and though he was guarded, bound by chains and shackles, he would snap the restraints and be driven by the demon into the desert places. "What is your name?" Jesus asked him. "Legion," he said, because many demons had entered him, and they begged him not to banish them into the abyss. A large herd of pigs was there, feeding on the hillside. The demons begged him to permit them to enter the pigs, and he gave them permission. The demons came out of the man and entered the pigs, and the herd rushed down the steep bank into the lake and drowned. No bacon.
No bacon. So, we don't really hear a lot about demonic possession today. But we know, because it's in the scripture, that it is a actual occurrence, that demons did possess this man, and that Jesus had this conversation with the demons in the man. And so it's worth discussing, because while we don't seem to encounter this very often, Jesus saved this sick man, and in the same way he saves us from what might not be literal demons, but our sins. So Robbie, what do you think causes us to be afraid of things we don't understand?
Not knowing consequences or something, how it will respond to us, or how we will respond to something if we don't know what it is.
So do you think as a society, or as a church even, that we are afraid of evil, even though God commands us not to be?
Yeah.
I think so. Because it's scary, right? Demons are scary. Satan is scary.
Yeah.
He has a lot of power that God gave him, to exercise here on earth, but he's not the ultimate champion. So that's why God doesn't want us to be afraid. So based on this one man's experience, so what do we see about him? Does he live with people in the town?
Mm-mm.
Where does he live?
In a dungeon, basically.
Well, or in the graveyard.
Yeah.
And does he wear nice clothes?
No, he doesn't. He wears toy clothes.
No, he wears no clothes. It says he's naked.
I know.
So he is a naked man living in a graveyard, essentially. They say they have put chains on him and shackles, but the power of the demons in him would snap and break those restraints. They couldn't hold him. So I'm guessing the people in the town wanted him to stay away, wanted him to stay in the tombs, because who wants a guy possessed with many demons? That's what legion means. Who wants him hanging out at the grocery store? Nobody. Right. So on this man's experience, his demonic possession, it tormented him, it wounded him, puts him in danger, it isolates him. He wasn't able to be in society, he was outcast. And it's also the same thing if we look at all these things, the torments, the wounds, danger, isolation, all these things actually can happen in our lives too because of our sin. So it may not be because a literal demon lives inside of us, but we allow our sin to cause all these things to happen. So what do you think when this guy sees Jesus coming off the boat? The demons obviously know who Jesus is. How do they know who Jesus is?
Because they're afraid of him.
Why? Why would they be afraid of Jesus?
Because you can get rid of him like that.
Right. Do you think that the demons know who God is and know who Jesus is?
Yeah.
Right, because the demons came, we know. Okay, so let me I'm just going to read you this definition of demons and who they are. Demons are angelic beings who sinned against God and now continually work evil in the world today. Demons oppose God and seek to destroy his work, as seen in the Bible's description of Satan, the head of the demons, who seeks to steal, kill, and destroy. Though demons have power, they are limited by God's control and can only act within the constraints of what God permits. In the end, all the demons will be cast into the lake of fire for which it was originally created. So we see the demons say, like, please don't banish us to the abyss, because they know that they have a period of time on the earth where they're allowed to work their evil, and Jesus knows when the time is that they're going to be put into the lake of fire for eternity, and that time hasn't come yet, right? Because we still have demons and we still have evil and Satan still in the world. So that time hasn't come. So the demons know who Jesus is. They know who God is. They know what the constraints are for their power, because God told them, you can only go, this far. You can only do these things. This is the only evil that you can cause. And so they know, they're intimately acquainted with who God is and who Jesus is. They know that Jesus is the Son of God. They know that. But why, if they know that fact, why aren't they saved? What's the difference in knowing that Jesus is the Son of God and that he saves people from their sin? How do you get from that point to actually being a Christian?
Accepting him into your life and knowing that without him we're nothing. And
right. Well, it comes from putting yourself under his authority, right, too, right? You have to make him be the Lord of your life. And obviously the demons aren't going to do that, because their Lord is Satan. He's the leader of the demons. Okay, so we see this legion of demons in the man. They beg Jesus, please don't put us in the lake of fire. Don't send us to the abyss. So where does he put them?
In the pigs.
Into the pigs. And so if you look at one of the other Gospels, it says there should be around like 2,000 pigs. And so I guess from this we can tell that we're in a Gentile land, because Jews don't keep pigs. They don't herd them. They don't eat them. They're unclean. So in order for this man to be herding pigs, not the demon-possessed man, but the other man that's mentioned, it would have to be a Gentile area. So Jesus lets the demons go into the pigs, and they go where?
Into the lake.
Yeah, they just go run off the cliff into the Sea of Galilee. I bet that looked pretty strange. Yeah. And then the shepherd of the pigs goes running into the town and says, you're never going to believe what just happened. There's a man with the crazy guy in the graveyard. Now he's got clothes on, and all the pigs ran off the cliff and committed suicide, which animals don't typically do. Okay, so if we read on a little further, we're going to read through verse 37.
34 through 37.
Yeah.
When the men who tended them saw what had happened, they ran off and reported it into the town and the countryside. Then people went out to see what had happened. They came to Jesus and found the man the demons had departed from, sitting at Jesus' feet, dressed and in a right mind, and they were afraid. Meanwhile, the eyewitness reported to them how the demon-possessed man was delivered. Then all the people of the Gerasene region asked them to leave them, because they had gripped by great fear. So that getting into the boat, he returned. Okay.
So we see the shepherd, like I said, he runs down, he tells the people, hey, this happened. So the people come up, of course, to see what's happening, because, we're nosy. And the people, do they have a reaction of joy? Are they happy that this man has been saved from the torment of the demons? No.
They're still no.
Yeah, they're afraid. They don't, they know how powerful those demons were, because they shackled this man with iron shackles to, whatever, and he broke loose from them. They know the demons are powerful, and yet this man who came took the demons away. So he must be even more powerful, right? Do you need some sunglasses?
No, I thought of a song.
You want to sing this song for the class?
Ain't no grave gonna hold my body down.
That's a good, man. I think you should sing it.
Wow.
Back to the subject at hand. So Jesus' authority over the demons scares these people to death. Do you think people are afraid now of Jesus' power?
In a sense, yeah.
I think so too. But do you think believers understand that Jesus' power, like this man who was saved did? Like, I feel like we know Jesus can do this, can heal a man who had many demons. So a legion in the Roman army had like 2,000 soldiers.
Right.
I don't know if this legion of demons was 2,000 demons, but it was clearly a lot of demons if they ran into 2,000 pigs and they all committed suicide. But if Jesus has the authority to do that, why don't we treat him in the way that we know he's like capable of fixing every issue, every sin that is in our life, every struggle that we have? I feel like we don't understand his power. We don't come to him expecting him to use his power.
Because we're living in this norm now and we're used to everything around us now. So something like that happens, it'll catch us off guard and we'll be kind of freaked out.
I feel like this year's catching us off guard. Maybe we should be paying more attention to what Jesus is doing.
Who are you telling?
I mean, we see radical transformations like this from time to time, right? Like, think about Robbie Gallaty, how he came from like that mega drug addiction to the guy who proclaims the gospel so boldly like he does now. We see that and we know Jesus is capable of that, but then we like, oh Lord, I don't know what classes I should take in the fall. Like, well, I guess I'll figure it out myself because Jesus probably doesn't know, but he really does. Like, he knows all the things, right?
Yeah.
He knows all the things. All right, so let's wrap up with the last part of this lesson, 38 through 39.
The man from whom the demons had departed begged him earnestly to be with him. But he sent him away and said, "Go back to your home and tell all that God has done for you." And off he went, proclaiming throughout the town of how Jesus had done for him.
So what does he want to do? Jesus is getting in the boat. Where's this guy want to go?
He wants to continue to be with Jesus.
Yeah, I would too. Like, Jesus literally saved his life.
Right.
Saved him from insanity and saved him from, you know, pain and fear and torment. And he wants to go where Jesus is going. And I feel like if we all had a really strong understanding of who Jesus is in our life and what he actually saved us from, we would do the same thing. We would follow hard after him. But what's Jesus' response? What does he want him to do?
Go into his town and tell him what happened and make disciples for him.
So do you think that's because Jesus didn't want to hang out with this guy anymore?
No.
No.
He knows that guy could reach more people
right.
than God could.
So what's Jesus' point in this whole thing? Like, why did he save this man? What's the point?
To have him be able to make disciples and know.
Right. It brings God glory because he saved him, and then he's able to use that to go and share the kingdom message. That's why we're here. Jesus saves us from our sin, and he doesn't want us to go on to heaven with him. He wants us to stay here and tell everybody about how Jesus saved us. And then those people get saved and tell everybody about how Jesus saved them, and that's how the kingdom is spread, right? That's essentially what the gospel is for. So I guess this week we would challenge you to maybe look at how you're taking what Jesus has done for you, how Jesus has saved you from your sin, and who are you sharing that with? How is that affecting your day-to-day walk? Like, have you just accepted what Jesus did for you? You believe Jesus is the Son of God. You believe he saved you from your sin. But how is that changing your life? And then what are you doing with that knowledge? Who are you sharing it with? Who are you having conversations with? Who are you reaching out to when they're in need? I mean, we see Jesus met this guy at his very urgent need of, you know, cleansing from these demons. Where can we meet people to help them to get closer? You have anything to share, to add, Robbie? No? All right, well, we thank you guys for hanging with us this morning. Looking forward to the message from Pastor Tim, and we hope to see you guys next week.